Another Bite, hosted by John Dick, Jory Monroe, and Ariel Boswell, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Each week, they break down episodes of everyone's favorite business television show, Shark Tank, offering their own unique thoughts, spin-off companies, critiques, and even talk with some of the folks who pitched to the sharks and live to tell the tale. From squatty potties to mensch on a bench, and even that weird golf club you use as a toilet, Another Bite takes a fresh look at some of your favorite episodes, and even more importantly, answers what these entrepreneurs are up to now. It's an amazing show for getting a more in-depth look at how businesses are built. And no matter where you are in your journey of work or business ownership, you can be sure you'll walk away with a fresh perspective. So listen to Another Bite wherever you get your podcasts. This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1126. Is this the biggest obstacle to your success? By Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com. And I'm Dan, your host of the show, and I'm going to keep this intro nice and short for you on this Tuesday, so let's get right to it now as we optimize your life. Is this the biggest obstacle to your success? By Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com. Setting out to achieve your goals, to make that cut, or get that promotion, requires a significant amount of effort, commitment, and determination to see things through, which is why, in our time-pressured, super busy, super connected world, we sometimes run out of steam and get stuck. It's been estimated we make anywhere between 30 to 35,000 decisions every day and spend an average of about 10.5 hours online. Just thinking about that is enough to give us decision fatigue. The problem is, it's easy to fall foul of mental exhaustion, overwhelm, and distraction, which can lead to the biggest obstacle to our success: complacency. Yes, that uncritical satisfaction of our achievements where near enough becomes good enough, where we give ourselves permission to cut corners, take risks, and forgive ourselves for our lackluster performance. It's dangerous because we lose sight of reality. We rationalize, justify, and lose the initiative to seek change. Complacency can kill. In Australia, it's illegal to use your mobile phone while driving. Yet almost 60% of drivers surveyed admit to texting while driving. You might not choose to drive blindfolded, but that's essentially what is happening when you text and drive. Scientists believe between 95 and 99% of our cognitive activity occurs at a subconscious level. Driving, once learned, is an automated behavior, though we retain the ability to consciously intercede if something unexpected happens, like a car pulling out in front of us or the vehicle in front unexpectedly coming to a halt. But we do need to be paying attention first for this to happen, and if we are distracted, we're not looking or noticing. In a new documentary about this hazard, what is perhaps most shocking beyond the lack of awareness by the perpetrators is their acceptance that even with the evidence before them, their expectation to successfully change their behavior is low. Multitasking or task switching in this way doesn't work because the brain isn't designed to operate this way. What it does do is rapidly exhaust the prefrontal cortex, slows down the processing time for new information, and leads to more mistakes being made. Behavioral change is hard and won't happen unless you want it to. Being given the cold, hard facts isn't enough either because we don't relate the information to ourselves. The brain is really bad at future forecasting and abstract thought. We believe bad stuff happens to other people, not us. As Charles Darwin said, quote, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one that is most adaptive to change." End quote. As humans, the difficulty we face is that brains hate change. It feels dangerous, there's no certainty of reward, and it stinks of effort. Alan Deutschman, in his book Change or Die, revealed how studies have shown that up to 9 out of 10 people don't change their lifestyle or behaviors even when their lives depend on it. Complacency at work hurts the individual because it leads to an acceptance of the status quo and loss of desire for things to be different. Change initiatives are harder to get off the ground. There's a reduction in discretionary contribution and collaboration. Why do we get stuck in complacency? This can boil down to a variety of factors, including boredom and fear. To learn, we have to apply our full and undivided attention. And as John Medina, author of Brain Rules, reminds us, the brain does not pay attention to boring things. Without attention, we fail to learn, and engagement drops. Our attention span is already under attack from the barrage of information we attempt to deal with every day, our social media that feeds our need for instant gratification, and our never-ending internal chattering dialogue of thoughts. Your brain is also a scaredy cat, hyper-alert to anything new or different in the environment. With the default setting to assume danger first, it takes more time and effort to weigh up all the pros and cons and determine that it's safe to proceed, which can lead to the thinking, why take the risk if you're in familiar territory and happy that the ways things are being done, while not perfect, are acceptable overall? Complacency is a problem when it becomes a collective because it leads to team and organizational dysfunction. What helps to overcome complacency and feeling stuck? 1. Connect with your purpose. It's important to know why you want to get unstuck and do things differently. 2. Commit to your chosen goal. 3. Map out your plan and timetable to follow. 4. Find an accountability buddy, a pit crew of support, and/or a mentor. Create your own community of those you know you can trust for support. 5. Expect setbacks as normal rather than a reason to quit. 6. Review progress regularly. 7. Celebrate all wins, big and small, to keep the momentum going. And 8. Stay on the path, because change is a continuum. Repeated experience helps to shape your beliefs, makes it easier to reframe your world perspective, and lays down new neural pathways for habits and skills. If you understand how change works and keeps you out of the dangerous corner of status quo, it's easier to discover the right tools for you to effect the desired change that becomes more readily achievable, sustainable, and effective to lead you to achieve your goals. For organizations, reducing complacency and the associated status quo bias in decision-making is vital for future business growth and success. You just listened to the post titled, "Is This the Biggest Obstacle to Your Success?" by Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com. Thank you to HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right at home. They do the hard part, and you get to take the credit. A new season calls for new meals, and HelloFresh has a fresh fall lineup of delicious dinners and more to choose from. Take your pick from 40 weekly recipes that suit your lifestyle, from veggie to family-friendly to fit and wholesome. And my favorite part? HelloFresh is actually significantly less expensive than both takeout and grocery shopping. So HelloFresh has managed to save me time, health, and a little moolah. So go to hellofresh.com/50OWD and use the code 50OWD for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Go to hellofresh.com/50OWD and use code 50OWD for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Labor strikes, climate change, your beat-up office printer. What do they all have in common? Come on, it's all about the money. Economics is everywhere and everything, fueling our lives, even where we least expect it. If you're a fan of Optimal Work Daily and are curious to learn something new and exciting about economics every week, I recommend you listen to the Planet Money podcast from NPR. Planet Money is a different kind of world, where the complex economy actually makes sense, where human stories supersede abstract theories. Listeners can learn, laugh, and be entertained. It's econ down to earth, and Planet Money answers some of life's burning questions, like will AI take over our jobs, and why are Christmas trees so darn expensive? The Planet Money team lives to tell a good story in around 30 minutes. It's econ for the rest of us. So tune in to Planet Money every week for entertaining stories and insights about how money shapes our world. Stories that can't be found anywhere else. Listen now to Planet Money from NPR, wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks so much to Dr. Jenny for this post today, and a little bit about her. As a keynote speaker, Dr. Jenny has presented to and worked with thousands of people to empower them to cultivate their own thriving mind. What gets her out of bed in the morning is the opportunity to impact someone else's world, seeing that spark of insight in their eyes when they see what they can do for themselves. As a voracious reader and prolific writer, she continues to indulge her curiosity and has just published her 4th book, Thriving Mind: How to Cultivate a Good Life. And as a board-certified lifestyle medicine physician and best-selling author, her vision is to enable everyone to be a happy, thriving human. And the website is very much worth checking out. Just come by drjennybrockis.com for much more. But that wraps up today's installment. Hope you enjoyed the post, and I will see you right back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.